So first of all, this is obviously not an easy, quick answer because the Children's Home provides a number of services. But if you were to start by just, in an umbrella sort of way, explaining in general what it is
Yeah.
that you guys do.
The Children's Home is a full-service child welfare organization. We operate 20 programs serving children and families throughout the region. Many people know us for the residential options, the children who can live in our Hillcrest campus, but we serve many more children in foster care, in adoption, in community-based services, living in their own homes. We operate supportive apartments for young people going to college. And certainly over the last several years, our services supporting children in their own homes has grown tremendously. Today, over 200 families are being served with staff going to families' homes to work with those young people and those families to build success.
That's great. Are they largely serving as like case managers?
Well, no, we have case managers, in-home therapists. We also have skill building workers who will work with young people. Some people might call it as a mentoring relationship, but really as a relationship to help them develop the skills that they need to be successful at home, successful in school, and successful in the community.
The children that you serve, these are largely kids who come from challenging backgrounds, whether it's challenging family situations or perhaps they're grappling with their own behavioral issues. Is that fair to say?
Certainly, it is, and the one commonality of the young people that we're dealing with is they've often experienced tremendous trauma in their life. And one of the things that we know there is that trauma affects the way brain development works, our response to stimulus, our response to stress. So much of what we're doing is not only trying to alleviate the sources of that trauma and to build on the skills that young people need, but it's also to help young people learn the skills to how to manage when my emotions are feeling a certain way, and also to be able to know how to respond in a healthy social way. Certainly the other factor I think that's important, Jim, is so many of the families and children we work with, struggle with poverty and the effects that poverty can have. Certainly we're seeing those disparities even in people's ability to respond to COVID in terms of safe, affordable housing, access to child care, food, all of those social determinants of health which impact the life and well-being of young people. And that's really our mission, is to move into that, respond, and create some new opportunities.
How many kids do you have living here on campus?
At any given time, there are between 45 to 50 young people who will live here on campus. Again, we also operate an additional 40 community residence beds, our group homes and supportive independent living throughout the community.
Roughly how many in those?
We have 40 young people with different ages there. We have over 135 children who are in foster homes, and some of those are pre-adoptive homes throughout the community. We have a wonderful group of foster families who have just been remarkable and throughout COVID have just shown their strength and their resilience.
Let's talk just briefly about what you guys are doing in Endicott at the former Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, thank you. We are so excited. When the Boys and Girls Club closed kind of suddenly, there was a void in our community. There was a void in Western Broome County. And the Children's Home, our senior staff, and our board of directors looked at that and said, who better than the Children's Home to step up and step in and to expand our mission? And we really see that as expanding our mission to create healthy opportunities to create safe spaces for children and families, and to really build communities where families can celebrate. So we've created the Southern Tier Community Center. It is going to be a vibrant hub of activity. Right now, we're undergoing a master plan with redevelopment. We are focused on our aquatics program. We are rehabbing the pool, bringing it up to modern standards, redoing the locker rooms, renovating the fitness areas, the cardio areas, places for people to work out. The Southern Tier Community Center is really going to be, I think, a jewel for our community. And even more importantly, right now, surprisingly, when COVID hit, our school-age childcare program, which operates before school and after school, moved full-time into the Southern Tier Community Center. So families could work, they would know that their children had a safe place to be, and that also more than just a place during the day, we support their educational work. Kids are bringing their Chromebooks. The staff are helping them with their lessons, trying to keep virtual learning alive and to make it real. So the school-age childcare program at the Southern Tier Community Center has been a real asset, I think, for our community.
That's great. Well, let's talk about the history of this campus. It's been around for quite some time.
Yeah, over 110 years. And the Children's Home was founded on the vision and the dream of 4 marvelous Methodist women called the deaconesses, of the church. It's our hope and plan in the course of the next year is to dedicate an original statue and garden in the front of our campus called Deaconesses Garden, to be able to honor their legacy and what they did. They responded and said there was a need. There was a need to care for children in the community. And that response is what drives us today. So our responses are different. When we see a need, we still ask the same question. How should we respond and what can we do?
Correct me if I'm wrong, was it largely an orphanage when it first opened?
It was an orphanage. It was a place for homeless children, for orphans to come, and they stayed here. Certainly many organizations throughout the state started over 100 years ago in that way, and over the course of time and through development has just grown into the multifaceted organization that we are today.
That's great. So how many people do you employ, and roughly how many people do you serve amongst all your various programs?
Sure. We are proud. We employ over 500 people. So I think that makes us one of the larger employers in the area. And I think it's, people often don't realize that we are an economic driver in the community, that we are creating jobs for people, keeping tax dollars local. And certainly throughout COVID, our workforce has grown. We haven't shrunk. We've had to be open. We've had to respond new ways with additional cleaning and different staffing protocols. So our staff has actually grown throughout COVID. We serve unduplicated individuals throughout a year, maybe over 700 children and their families. And often, we would talk about the child, but we are serving their mom, their dad, their siblings, and in any way that we can.
So then, ultimately, what do you think makes the Children's Home special?
The Children's Home is, at its heart, a mission-driven organization. The leaders, the staff here, we believe that children and families, when given an opportunity, can succeed. We see their resilience, we see how strong they are, and it really drives us to create opportunities so that young people that we serve, the families we serve, can have the same things that you and I want, is to choose where to live, where to work, who to love, how to spend our time. And so it is that passion and that mission that I think makes the Children's Home special. I would also mention that at our heart, even as we grow, we are a local organization. The Children's Home is a part of this community, has been blessed by this community. People are so generous and caring. We have a local board of directors. We have people who are from and love the Binghamton, Broome County, Southern Tier area. So the fact that this is home, this is our community, I think those factors make it very special and unique in what we do.
I'm sure the outcomes vary, but do you keep in touch or track how some of these kids turn out in adulthood, and when you have a success story, how does that feel?
Oh, well, it is wonderful to see children grow and develop to gain grades. Two wonderful things that just happened this week. We had a young lady gained her credits and is graduating high school of the year. And to see her now go on with her high school education and move into employment and further training is just inspiring, and we do that. Or to see young people be able to leave our school and go back into their home school and be a part of their local school community. And just last week, received a letter from a young man who is now 39 years old, and talked about how the lessons he learned from one particular teacher here at the Children's Home really helped set his life, and that he has remembered her and moved forward in life, and now is a successful husband and father and employed. So there are many stories like that, and I think, Jim, in our work, we don't always know the outcome, but it's so important for us to be faithful to what we're about, and to work every day to try to give people a chance.